How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Yeah, all good. So, where presently you are working? Can you briefly introduce yourself? So, which one is your strong area in data structure?
Corresponding to any language, I would say like collections, like with Java, but again, array would be the preferable choice.
Mhm. I'll be giving you one programming question from array.
Okay,
Can you share your screen and your camera? Can you turn it on?
sure. So we need low and high. So high would be the length minus one. Then we need minimum. So here I will do right. So min is going to hold down to the minimum value which I will return. So here we need the minimum of min, the current value, and what we have in our array at mid, right? So here that is going to suffice the requirement. And then if nums high is going to be less than and equal to nums mid, in that case I will do low equals to mid minus 1, else high equals to mid plus 1. Oh, sorry, I did it. Pause. Right. So here everything looks good. Um, okay. Uh, okay. So math. Min. String low minus. Sorry. Yeah, it is working fine.
Submit it.
Okay.
So, okay, go to the problem statement. I mean, what is it? There are two situation. Let me open it. Copy. I'm giving you another problem. This one is pretty easy. Solve. So longest increasing subsequence length you have to find.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so length is 237 101. 237 101. So it is 4.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find longest one length.
Right.
All elements are in increasing order, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that's how you have to find. Yeah.
Say max. That is what we have to return. Right. So I will initialize it. First, I need another array. Right. So where is there? Visited. It's visited. One to n. So if it is greater than max, in that case, I will just do max. And at the end, we just have to return the x. Yeah, so it is working fine. Has it?
Sorry.
Yeah, it is working
Yeah.
fine.
So what did you do here?
So what I did is first I need to find out like if at any, so let's say if I'm at a current index and I just need to find if any element before it or after it, sorry,
Go to description.
pardon.
Let me see. Go to the description or see the below input. Okay. So what do I need to do? How it is for? How did you execute the plan? I mean, for this input. Can you show me in Notepad? Take this.
Hmm.
um,
Let me change this logic a bit. I think that way it will be more clear, right? So just give me a minute. I'll just modify this to more sensible one.
mhm.
So I don't need to fill the array, and I need this one inside. So let's say 0, right? So starts with 0. Is equals to 0. Need a local variable also. Right, so this j will start from 0 to whatever we have in the ith. Then it is going to increment it, that's okay. And then I will check if nums of I is greater than nums of j. So if that's greater, then in that case I will check if our array I, no, this time I will check array j is greater than max. That's okay, then it is going to be array of j, right? I don't need this now. So this is okay. And afterwards, when we are completing the for loop, in that case, yeah, so in that case, array of ith needs to be changed. So it should be whatever we have in the max plus 1, right? So previous max length plus new element. So we will store this. Okay, that's okay. Now we have to do side by side checking. So if length, so if length is less than uh, this current element I, right? In that case, length is going to be array of I, and then I just have to return length. Yeah, so this one is working. I think this one is more easier to explain.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Sure.
So how did
So,
you do? Yeah.
so here, as you
Have.
can see, I started from 0th index, and J is also starting from 0th index. So it is going to compare from the previous elements. So if I is 1, right? So I will start from 1 because 0th it is not going to do much, right? So for I equals to 1, J equals to J is going to be 0, and then it is going to do the comparison. So what is going
Hmm.
to happen is for
Yeah.
ith element we have 9, So it is going to check if 9 is greater than 10. So it is not, so it will not go inside if. So again, it will change the value. So now I is going to be 2. Then j is,
I still 1. I mean, I still 0. Now only j is changing.
no, no, no.
Yes.
For 0 index, there is not going to be any comparison, right?
Yeah, not for 0, 1. I mean, 1. For I equal to 1, only j is changing. So now you are sitting at I equal to 1 every time.
No,
Okay,
no.
and only j is
Here
changing.
you can see the condition is j less than I.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yes, yes. Okay, okay. So you are I at 2. Okay.
Yes. So I will be at I equals to 2. Now j is going to be again 0, right? So for this, I'm going to do the comparison. So I is 2 at is, let me expand this a bit. So it is going to be 2 greater than, and then it is going to do the comparison with 10. So this one is again not satisfied. So now it will go at 1. So now j is going to get changed. So now j
Mm-hmm.
is 9. So again this is going to get rejected and there is not going to be any comparison now. So I is going to be 3, right? So now j is 0. So for 5 again 10 is not less than 5. 9 is not less than 5. So it will go at this. So it is going to be 2. For j equals to 2, it is going to get satisfied. So here it is going doing the comparison of 5 greater than 2. So this got satisfied.
Okay, okay. So you are currently, what is the I?
So I is 3 right now.
I equal to 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So you are at 5.
Right.
Okay, so it will start with 2, 5 comparison. Okay, and after that, you will stop here also, right?
No, no, I will
You
not
are,
stop because this condition got satisfied. Right?
yeah, yeah.
Right. So I will go inside this if now.
Okay.
Okay. So I got inside this if. Now in this if, I can see there is one more if condition, right? So here it is going to do the comparison of arith j. So arith j is going to be 0 because this array is empty right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So array at 0 is 0 and max is also 0. So what it is going to do? It is going to do nothing here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it is going to leave this,
Mm-hmm.
if that's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for this one, if you see, we are also incrementing the max plus 1. So for each index, what we did is we actually added the array element, which I forgot basically. So for I equals to 0, when I started with 0, for arith 0, the value is going to be 1.
Mm-hmm.
So let me write that down also because that's much needed. So for I equals to 0 and j equals to 0, it is going to do array of 0 equals to 1. So now we have this in the first iteration when we did I equals to 0. For I
Mm-hmm.
equals to 1, max is again 0 right now. So it is going to be again 1, right? If that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is done, and then for I 0, 0, 1, then I equals to 2 and j equals to 1, then it is again going to be 1. So it is going to take some time to explain, but ultimately what it is going to do is it is going to change the max value now with the 2 5 comparison. So that is what I wanted to show. So for 2 and 1, we have array 2 equals to 1, and then it is going to come at 3. So for 3 again it is going to be 1, right? So now we are here checking the index of j. So j at this index is 2, right? If you can see, it is 2. So it is going to do the
Okay.
comparison of array of 2, which is 1, and here it is going to do the comparison is if 1 is greater than 0. In that case, max is going to get changed to 1, right?
Yeah, that's fine. You ping me this solution. Okay. So you have to tell me what is inversion of control in Spring, if you have worked on Spring.
Sure, just let me paste this bit. So it is not going to be formatted. If will that be okay?
Yeah.
So So can you check if you got it?
Yes, yes. What is inversion of control?
So it is a controller basically, and it is the
Give
core of, pardon,
give me one example. I want to understand by example.
by example. So
Yeah.
dependency, you can say like dependency injection is an implementation of IOC,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So here what we are doing is we just are telling that it is going to create the object. So so dependency injection is the way to do it. So that can be an example.
No, no. Give me some example of inversion of control. Suppose take any two classes and how you are going to, implement the inversion of control in your application.
So there are ways to implement dependency injection if that is what you are asking. So
Dependency injection, both are different thing. Maybe they are related, but both are different thing.
so
I want to understand. Yeah.
mhm,
Suppose I want to implement inversion of control
mhm,
somewhere. How
mhm.
will you do that? Give me one class is there student or something.
Okay,
Student
so you can say there is one interface
car
application.
two
Yeah,
different
yeah,
Maruti and
yeah.
sorry.
I'm coming to that. So in a Spring Framework interface, there is an interface which is application context. So application
Mm-hmm.
context represents the IOC container, right? So Spring
Mm-hmm.
Container is responsible for instantiating, configuring, and assembling, known like which we known as, which we remember as beans. So if we want to do it, we can have a XML file. We can write down the bean definitions where we want to, let's say, create a particular object, and then we can use this XML file to our application context, and then Spring is going to create the objects for us. So that can be your one example. You can you can use class path XML here, and then you can provide that XML file in your class path, and then Spring is going to do the stuff for you.
Do we use XML now nowadays?
No, we don't. So that's why we have more options, right? Because we have file system XML application context, we have class path XML application context, we have web application context, and I think we are mostly using web
I
application
want
context.
to understand. I want to understand that inversion of control by example. Some layman example, very common example, like
So
something. Give me some object, real life object, and show me how we will achieve the inversion of control.
okay. I think
Something like car is there, na car. Maybe you can say as something car class or car interface or maybe two different implementation of car. Toyota, Maruti, something.
okay. So what I can I think these are the only ways that I can tell about IOC, but let me think if I can relate it with something else.
Some class is there. Show me some class. How will you implement inversion of control?
Okay. Um, okay. So let's say, I think I can use the example of hard coupling and loose coupling here. So let's say there is a class A, and there is this class B, which is, let's say, service class. So inside the service class, I'm creating an object of my class A by doing A equals to new A. So this code does not represent IOC, right? So this is like a hard-coded example of how we did it before,
Mhm.
right? So when we talk about IOC, I can explain we can create a score instance by doing by a class instance by doing a equals to context and then dot get bean, and then through that I can create the object of that class A, right? So with the Spring IOC container, like the service class is not doing the stuff for you. We are doing it through Spring now. So that can be an example.
What and all two classes you said in the beginning?
So class A is there, then class B is there, right? So in class B, I was creating a new object of class A by doing A equals to new A, right? So this is the
Mm.
hard coded example. With the Spring IOC, we can do A equals to not new A now. We are just going to do context dot get bean method, and through that I'm
That
going
is
to
version of control. I mean, that is not in version IOC. That is not in version of control. That is you are saying. I mean, you are getting bin from context. Okay, that's it. That is not how you inverse the control in Spring. I mean, suppose I can give you like one example, some interface I was saying like car, and you
Mhm,
will auto-wired it car. Okay,
mhm,
and I mean, anytime you can inverse through like without touching the code of that car.
mhm.
Okay, anytime you can use whether Maruti or maybe you can use Toyota. Anyone you can inverse any.
So
I mean,
here the example I said was the similar thing. Like I said, my B class is a service class. So B class was responsible to create as many objects as the application wanted of class A.
I wanted to I mean get that idea that how will you inverse the control?
So
That is inversion. Like you are inversing the control, right? Somewhere
right.
somehow.
So, like I previously used dependency injection, which like we do through auto wiring. So that solution was not okay. So that's why I switched to this one. So when I used this example, I was actually using a scenario where we can create as many objects we want without actually creating one. Spring is going to do that for us. And when the code is not hard coded, we can change also. Like if let's say the class is not that class, rather interface, then I can use like the sub classes of that interface to instantiate the object. Right, so there are more and more ways. Like I can take an example of shape, rectangle, and square are there. I can change either one, and it is not going to change affect the rectangle and square classes. But yeah,
What is difference between hash map and weak hash map?
hash map and weak hash map. Okay. I think references are there. That is why it is. Let me think. I know about it. Um, so weak hash map actually implements map interface like hash map do. The only difference is that what was it? So object. So it's like so for
What
garbage
all new features
collection,
were added? Yeah, sorry.
yeah, for garbage collection, we use like so let's say I'm using a weak hash map, so key is not going to be eligible for garbage collection in that case.
Where in weak hash map?
No, no, in hash
Okay,
map.
so what were new feature were what and all new feature were added as part of Java 8?
We got lambda expressions, functional programming way, and we got stream APIs. We got some few changes in string and date APIs.
Okay, so I think we already reached 1 hour of interview. Okay, so do you have any question for me?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prashant.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.